Ready?
Alright, yeah, we're ready. I'm Stutterheim.
And I'm Parker Muehlheisen.
Today we're going to teach you how to record rhythm guitar parts
and
the solos and the solo
and other stuff.
And other things like drum tracks, and we're going to be doing all this on GarageBand on an Apple Mac.
Anyway, let's get started. First thing first, you need a guitar. Second, you need an amp.
Shameless promotion.
Third step, you need an audio interface. Fourth step, you need a MacBook. Okay guys, we're gonna show you how to exactly hook up your guitar amp straight into your MacBook on GarageBand. So this is what you're gonna do. First off, you're gonna need a, oh god, where is it? Right here. You're gonna need something like this. And for your amp, if your amp doesn't have this, then you are the worst guitar player in human history. So
because you couldn't get the right amp.
You couldn't get the right amp. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna plug this sucker in here. And while that's in there, let me show you.
It goes into your outer headphone jack.
No.
The headphone jack that shoots
shut
out. Well, it literally, that's...
Right here. Let me show you. On your audio interface, you're gonna plug it into whatever input you have. Then,
so that one right there on the far left.
Yeah, this one right here. And you're gonna crank that sucker up because usually it's quiet, so just crank it up. And then if yours has buttons on it, just mess around with that. Mine's pad on in the instrument line.
So what this is your inputs 1 through 4, and then these are your settings for inputs 1 through 4.
Yes. And then, of course, you need to plug this in. And right here is to plug in your Mac, so I'm gonna just do this.
So yeah, there should be an output port that hooks into a USB port on your Mac.
This, and then your Mac, and you're gonna just plug it in your computer, and then see, look at that tag. It says change the number of inputs in minutes. That just means it's ready to go and you're ready to record. All right, since we're in our DAW, we're gonna get set up right here. So the first things first. I would always just start off with the audio and then to input 1 because that's the one we're in, and I just double check. And right here where it says I want to hear my instrument as I play record, make sure that it has a check mark on it. So we're gonna hit create right here, and hopefully with the audio interface already plugged in, it should sound. So give me a sound. Alright, perfect. Now before we do that, we're gonna make a drum track real quick.
Now drum track can be you actually have your drummer play a part. If you don't have a drummer, just do what we're doing and put a drum track in.
Also, what BPM 50?
155. Make sure your riffs are matching the BPM.
Yes, make sure everything that you make is 155. So the tempo right up here, we're gonna change this. It's let's see fast. 155.
So, as you can see, we're in the studio right now. I've got my guitar. You can hear it through the audio on Parker's computer. So I'm just going to start with a nice intro riff, and then I'm going to give a simple kind of groovy riff to hit the solo off with. So, we're here in the studio. You are so close up on this shot. So we're here in the studio. Now, as you can see on the monitor screen, I have this little orange button right here on. This is monitoring. You want to keep this on so that way you can actually hear how you're playing. Once we have this set up, we have monitoring on, we just press the record button here. Tempo's good, drum track's good, we're on the right track, we're not on the drum track. So we're just going to hit record and get started. So, now that we have that, we have to do a beautiful thing called multi-tracking, which is probably where most people are going to give up. We're here and we are currently multi-tracking. Now a lot of people wonder, why do you multi-track your rhythm guitars and not like your lead guitars? Well, multi-tracking is something that you do so that way the guitars sound more open. That way you don't have the drums and the solo and the rhythm all in the middle of the song. Having 2 tracks and panning one left and one right is actually giving more of an open feel, and it makes it sound a lot better. So, typically the best way to go about this is to play your tracks twice. Actually go through and play the same thing again. So, that's what we're going to do here. First take. Now, not everyone is the best guitarist in the world like me, so it would probably take you like a few tries to multi-track well, but hey, that's fine. I'm not here to judge you because I'm the best. I have no one to judge. So, we're going to pan our first track all the way to the right. Your first track is the one that's obviously going to be significantly, probably more perfect than your second track, so you kind of want to pan it to the right. It's most people's good ears, so it's some food for thought. So once you have these, you will notice that your song sounds significantly more open and it doesn't sound very flat. So after we have these, we're going to have a solo and then we're going to have a bass, because bass is important. So now we're going to record the solo. Definitely not the best I can do, but not terrible either. So, now that we have all the guitar stuff done, I'm going to hand it over to Parker, and he's going to teach you how to do bass and EQ. Alright, we're here with Parker Muehlheisen. He's going to teach you how the bass goes.
So, obviously, he taught me a little bit on how to play this, so what we're going to do first is add a brand new track on this. Now, my amp is significantly different than everybody else's, so what I'm gonna do is go to my Fender app, which that's how I program. Maybe it won't do it. As that's loading up, because mine is all so. If anything that happens, like midis inside like guitars, your interface right here is just gonna keep bouncing right here. So this is my bass tone right here, and we're gonna go yes. And it also says, do you want to use the Fender Rumble LT25? I'm gonna say use. Good pair of headphones right here. You know they break a lot, so
that means it's a good pair.
It's a good pair. So I feel confident that I can maybe do this.
Alright.
And so
if I can do it, you can do it.
That's right. That's right.
If I'm the best guitarist, he's easily the 0th guitarist, alright?
After this, I'm gonna... Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go!
Not bad.
As you probably noticed, I'm not playing it exactly like how Coy is supposed to do it.
Because he's Cliff Burton.
Because as a bass, it's not really considered a lead instrument, so that's why you have to play it as a root. And the first note he hits is the G. That's how he would have played. I would have played it, but this is bass. Let's just make this more simpler and more sound better. So, as this is all good, let's hear the whole song where we're at before we do EQ and compression and all that hunk and junk that's on here. Alright, that sounds good. I'm gonna take my bass guitar away, because now it's time to mix it! Okay, we're gonna work on the rhythm tracks first, so then we can get a much clearer understanding what we're attacking. So, you're gonna click on the track right here, and it should say EQ right here in the bottom. So you're gonna click on that. You're gonna click on this, it's gonna be red. So first, and another thing, I like to click on Analyze, so then we can hear what we're playing. And the best sound I like to do is at the end, we're going to just kind of scoop this out of the way. Get all that empty spots out, so that's good. Then I'm going to click on this far one right here, where it's kind of purplish violet, and I'm going to also scoot all of that in.
It's thinking.
Oh my, wait, what? Oh, it stopped! This red at the back, you kind of wanted to get rid of all that empty space right there. So it makes it just sound more compressed. And then this kind of violet-y thing right here also do the same thing. Let's see what happens if I scooped it. Ooh. I like that. So that sounds okay. Now, I want to test it out with the other track. So what I'm going to do here is go to Settings. I'm going to click on More. Nope, do that again. Go on More. And I'm going to put Copy. And I'm going to go straight to the audio right here. And I'm going to push Paste. And so now it has the same. And now let's listen to both of them if they sound good. Okay, I'm fine with this. I think it's awesome. Now we're gonna EQ the solo. This one's kind of a win or lose, because it needs to sound pretty good with bass and rhythm guitars on this. So what I'm gonna do is go on EQ on as well, and I'm gonna solo this itself. And I'm just gonna have it here close. For guitar solos, for me sometimes if it doesn't fit or you can't hear it as much, I like to add a bit of gain, a little bit more gain. So on the very far right of the EQ, I could go up here and let's just put it up to like 2.1 decibels and see if that sounds better.
You definitely never want to bring other tracks down.
Yes.
You always want to lift other tracks up.
Absolutely, yeah. So, and I'm gonna push the mids up a bit so it could get through the mix and it could just be heard more. Alright, that sounds amazing. So alright, so we figured out EQ. Now let's go figure out compression. Compression is kind of a, well, it's really hard to explain it, but all I can tell you is compression basically helps levels of sounds and a bit of EQ sound all together instead of it just sounding like more spread out.
It sounds less like you're in a cave. It
Yes.
limits it.
It limits itself,
Whereas
which makes it more sound clearer, more, and I think it also helps sometimes with the gain issue.
Yeah.
And a lot of that. So we're gonna do that on. And I'm gonna affect this dry tone right here. I scoop that up. Now let's have a huge listen to this. And yeah, that's just sounds so much better.
Are we done with the EQing?
I think that's everything. That's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you know,
Hit the subscribe button. Check out the drum tracks guy. He makes great drum tracks.
Yes, shout out
If
to
you're
him.
looking to be a heavy rock metal musician, he's got everything you want.
And I hope this is useful for your upcoming records and all your albums that you're gonna be making. And also comment us if you need questions or anything.
Well, we can't comment on the Try Broadcasting channel because the comments are turned off.
Well, for this one, it's different.